Okay, but you would like to in future. And what about you?
Same like an MBA.
Same. We all are doing the MBA.
Okay. But you guys have your startup ideas so that after the MBA you guys
Yes.
would like to. Okay. For me, it's a reverse cycle. So, sure. For me, it's a reverse cycle. That actually, I've done my MBA just 2 years ago, but I'm an entrepreneur since 17 years. So I took a break from business and went to Milano, Italy, and did my MBA there, and then came back.
Degree is not important for.
To become an entrepreneur? No, of course not important, but it can help.
Yeah.
So after my MBA now, I can tell you my company is more structured. It helped me structure the company. It helped me in so many other ways, and also you build a network, right? So my MBA was a global sort of MBA. So starting from Milano, we went to Argentina, Buenos Aires. We spent there some time in the university for 2 weeks. Then we went to Copenhagen, School of Entrepreneurship. We studied there. Then we go to Shanghai, China. We studied there, and then we come back to Milano. So it was fantastic. So you meet so many people from different backgrounds, and they have different ideas. And what I loved about MBA is that you have this group assignments, right? Where you have the group, right? And then you have a group leader, right? And it is actually rotating, right? So maybe in some assignment you are the group leader, in another you are the group leader. So it gives you a chance to explore your leadership quality. Yeah, maybe it's a group of 5 people, but you have to bring something to the table, right? Synergize. So it had many different, and plus I come from Pakistan, so I was able to explore many different cultures. So there were guys from Italy, of course, then from Japan, from China, from Argentina. So it was interesting to understand how they think and what is their thinking style. So it was fun. Yeah. So we can formally start now? Okay. Sure. So do you guys have any idea about what I do, about my startup?
Online
Fine.
parenting.
Yeah. You guys have heard about it?
Yes.
First time? Okay. Not very popular in students, right?
Maybe it doesn't matter. Where you started.
Yeah, it's not log and stock, right? So that you guys will know. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, or let's say running a startup, who do you look up to? Like, okay, don't tell me Steve Jobs. Please tell me something else.
Alibaba.
Alibaba, yeah. Jack Ma.
Jack.
Okay. And any other person that you look at and you're like, man, how he did it? How he did that? I mean, any ideal person?
Just explain ourselves. I don't want to become any type of like every person, particular every person.
No, but who is your inspiration? Not necessarily that you want to become that person, but who's the inspiration? That, like she said, Alibaba, Jack Ma, that guy come from a very poor background and he built such a huge enterprise. It's amazing, right? So, is there any other? By the way, I also like him. He's amazing. Is there any other person that you look up to? Maybe Elon Musk, maybe Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, yeah, good example. Any other person like Elon Musk, Tesla. Yeah, it's quite interesting, right? And then there are so many, like even young, entrepreneurs, like people who started, let's say, TikTok, people who own Snapchat, Instagrammers, for example, WhatsApp. I really find WhatsApp fascinating because when WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook, right, for $19 billion, that was the biggest acquisition of any technology ever, right? They only had 50 people working for them. Only 50 people. are working for WhatsApp, and they run the world. Like WhatsApp number of messaging is actually even increasing. Even if you compare with SMSs, SMSs are much lesser, and WhatsApp messages are more, right? So imagine that 50 engineers they run the world. It's amazing. So I really find WhatsApp model also very interesting. I think it's fascinating how small group of people they run the world. It's amazing, right? Inspirational. I'll share with you a story also. I went to Google headquarters in Singapore. They have a huge facility there, based in 2 buildings, and you can go from one building to another from a tunnel. So it was amazing. When I went there, I was shocked to see the work culture there, how they are working. It was incredible, and more so that it's not really about Google. You must have heard about the free food that they gave and all. That is there. Okay, the free food, the slides, the sleeping pods. That is there. But you ask yourself, man, how on earth someone built such a huge enterprise? It's not really about all those things, but how? It's incredible, right? Amazing stuff. Someone else is also joining us? Yeah. What do you guys think about Google? Okay, if you have to choose Google, Apple, and Microsoft, who will you choose? Google? Not Apple? No? Why is that? Hello.
Hello, I'm sorry I'm late.
It's alright, it's okay.
Well, I'm stuck in meeting.
No worries
Thank
at
you
all.
for being here in time. This is my class, entrepreneurship class.
Amazing.
So obviously they will learn so much with you.
I will do my best.
And thank you so much. And we have 2 startup also leaders
Okay.
who are here. Can you pass?
Just a minute, I'll set you arrows. Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming in such a short notice.
No problem at all. It's my pleasure. And by the way, we are very near to you guys, so
Oh, really?
I just came from BTech, so it was a 5 minutes drive, so no problem.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's a good facility here. It's huge
Very.
stuff. Yeah, I'm very glad that what you guys are doing for the startups is amazing. I've been following you guys.
Oh,
It's been a while, like a few months,
yeah, that's
because
true.
before I knew Ronak,
Yes.
Ronak was here, a very good friend of mine. So I was checking what he's doing. Amazing. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So what we'll do is, Tarunjit is the moderator.
Okay.
He will introduce you and then he'll hand it over to you. You can introduce yourself, you can talk about your company as much as you want to. In between, all of these, so we have 2 entrepreneurs with us. They
Mhm.
have 2 startups. This is Abdul Majid and this is Tarunjit. So they will ask you questions related to probably their company and how
Sure.
you can help or they can help or whatever. Rest of them are MBA students.
Okay.
They've already introduced themselves to you.
Right. Okay.
They will ask you questions related to the subject matter, or they can ask you questions to what they're studying right now probably.
Mhm.
It can be related to, let's say, for example, online marketing, digital marketing, whatever questions they have. And towards the end, these 2 will talk about their startups,
Okay.
and probably you can guide them a little bit
Sure.
on how they can go about. He already has got his license,
Mm-hmm.
and Abdul Majid is already in the phase of probably applying for license.
Super.
So that is the flow of it's going to be 1 hour,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them will keep on asking questions. If sometimes in between there's a lull, you can
Okay.
continue the conversation.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah. So try and keep the conversation flowing. Ask any questions that come to your mind as he speaks, and you too, try and ask questions as many. Yeah. So
So
we'll
first
start.
of all, there's no stupid question. In case you are
Yeah, yeah.
wondering, please
Yeah.
don't hesitate.
Exactly.
And on Monday I will grill you and know everything about what you learned. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. No problem.
So, I'm joking, like, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of a meeting to go to another one, but I'll be there at 12. I told them I'm out at 12.
often?
Sorry.
You guys do this often, right?
Yeah, this is like the 23rd.
Yeah,
edition.
23rd. So okay, so you know the drill, right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
So what is your startup about?
I actually have an e-commerce startup, so
Okay.
it's called themodestlook.com, and we are basically catering to the female modest dresser segment. So,
Uh-huh.
so we actually identified a lot of issues in that target market, and we are trying to, develop new features like shop to look, read and shop, size recommenders and stuff. So that's what we are trying to integrate.
Right. And what about you?
So we are a lifestyle program that's more suited for college and university students. So we help them manage their time and money, and we have this AI feature that helps that studies their daily usage, and
Mhm.
according to that we'll give them rewards, points, and also help them to manage it properly so that they can have more budget friendly lifestyle.
Okay. So it's only gonna be about students?
No, it will be open for middle class households, like adults and everyone who's working like from 25 to 35 age,
Mm-hmm.
who are like more to go out and spend money and to spend more time and all.
So they join your program and they get the benefits.
So
They get some special offers.
yeah, they
like-
get offers, they get everything, like they have online like web store from where which they can purchase whatever they want, and
Okay.
then we'll have our partnership with supermarkets, restaurants, barbershops, everywhere a normal student or a guy will go, we'll have partnership with them. So what happens is you get offers from there, and every time you spend your time there, you're going to get rewards back.
Okay.
And so with those you can again shop back and use it. And with the help of AI, we can understand how that particular customer will use his time and money, and according to that we can make him a chartered plan. And we can also point it out like where he's spending more time and how he can manage it, and how his where his money is going smoothly, and all those factors.
And what's the name of it?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just talk about our startups like towards the end.
Sure,
so,
sure.
so let's just
Yeah.
start with it. So hello and good morning. Welcome to the 23rd edition of Coffee with CEO. This is a session that we periodically held to do with really amazing thought leaders of UAE. And today we have with us Mr. Ammar Akhtar. He's the CEO and founder of finalrentals.com. And today he'll be sharing his thoughts with us. So I would like to just hand over to you.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. So I'll just give you a very quick intro about Final Rentals, right?
Yeah.
So it's a platform for car rentals. So we bring traditional car rental companies on our platform.
Okay.
So as a customer, you can compare and book online.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no platform where you can actually rent a car on long-term basis. There's so many for short-term basis, like for a
Yeah.
week or for a day or two, and mostly they cover airport locations. What we do as Final Rentals is you can rent a car online on monthly basis. You can also order delivery to your home, right?
Okay.
And we are the largest in the UAE because we offer more than 200,000 cars
Okay.
from 11 different companies, right? And you can pick the car from more than 400 locations in the UAE. So all the malls, all the airports, downtowns, they are covered, okay? And because Final Rentals, we do not really, list the smaller companies. We have a certain criteria to be on Final Rentals, right? So first we work with the company, we make them Final Rentals ready if they have 1,000 cars or more, right? And then they can be on Final Rentals so that they can give you the best customer service. So we don't list every company that is out there and be on Final Rentals. Before launching Final Rentals, I worked for car rental companies for over 11 years. So Thrifty in UAE, Dollar, Europe Car,
Yeah.
U Drive, Speedy Drive, you name it. They're actually built by my company,
Okay.
their websites. And my last project was U Drive. You must have heard about it.
Yes.
U Drive is actually done by me. So before, so it was my last project as a company, and then we launched Final Rentals. So I know the industry, inside out. And while I was working in these companies, I realized that they do a lot of stuff. Like they have branches, they have drivers, they have cars, they have a lot of money, but they're not digital, because digital is a mindset, right? So a customer is booking online, but going to the counter was exactly traditional experience, right? So what we do as Final Rentals, you can upload your documents online, all the information online, just go and get the car.
Okay.
So it makes it easier, right? So we are live since almost 3 years now,
Okay.
right? We are profitable, self-sustained. It's all bootstrapped. Don't have any investment. It's totally bootstrapped company, right? And we are a team of only 5, doing 500,000 bookings every year. So 80% is automated. We rely on automation, right? And 80% of our process is automated. So there is no human intervention.
Okay.
I totally believe in that, and we try to make sure that the best customer service is when there is no service required. right? So that's how it is. So it works end to end. So that's how we work. So that's final rentals.
It's amazing. So we can just share our questions with you now.
Yeah. If you have any questions, just feel free to, ask anything that you have on your mind.
So how did you get this idea of actually starting with final rentals? Because we have e-car, we have U-Drive, and students nowadays really consider that because you can just pay per minute and then just go about it.
Yeah. So you see, the thing is, sometimes what happens is that you don't choose the industry; the industry is choosing you, right?
Yeah.
So you guys will be shocked that today is 20th Jan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came to UAE to become an entrepreneur on 20th Jan 2007.
Okay.
Today is like my anniversary. I don't know which one. What 14th or 13th anniversary? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm a full-time entrepreneur, right? So when I came to UAE, my first project was to build a website for Budget Rent a Car.
Okay.
Budget is a huge brand, right?
Yeah.
And Budget is a franchise, right? So UAE is the only country in the world having their own website. Normally they buy the tech from UK, right? So when I was building their website, I was realizing that, wow man, this industry is really cool, that somebody can rent a car online. And I'm talking about 2007-8, right? So it was still nascent, this whole idea of e-commerce. So after Budget, I built $50. So while I was working on those projects, I was realizing, man, this industry needs some sort of disruption, or let's say more digitization, right? So then the idea came to my mind that whenever I'll have time, I'll build something for this, right? Talking about e-car and U-Drive, car sharing is huge in Europe, right? So for example, because in Europe the cities are built in a way that they're in a circle, like in a circle, and circle goes out and then you go to the suburbs. Whereas Dubai is more of a city where we have structures. So we have DSO. It can be considered as a city, to be honest. Then we have Dubai Marina, TCOM and GLT. Then we have other areas. And then there's a big gap between both the areas, right? I truly believe car sharing works where you have a saturated sort of community, right? So if you look at e-car or U-Drive, right? The idea is fantastic, pay per minute, and it's really funky. And you can see on the app, here's the car, go and unlock the car and get in. I still do not believe that this city is built for such model. It is not a community like that. So if you go to Milan or if you go to other places in Europe, you'll see all the cities, they are built in a certain structure. It's like circular, right? So they used to build cities like so that they can lock the cities. If there's a war, they can close the city down. So they have 4 gates, right? They shut the gates down, and that's it. Nobody can come inside. So because they are there since what, 5,000 years, 4,000 years. So they are built for that. So car sharing, scooter sharing, bike sharing works there. It's awesome. In UAE, I would say it's still a market where I don't think it is sustainable. It's a short-term thing. Like you want to use a car from here to, let's say, Dera, you can get U-Drive. You'll end up paying 30 dirhams or maybe less. Which is cool, by the way. But when you're coming back, will you get a U-Drive again? Not sure.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to car rental, so you can get a car for what 48 dirhams a day, and it's yours, 24 hours. So it makes more sense. E-car, U-Drive, they need a lot of cars to reach that saturation point, right? And I would say they are 10 years too early. Looking at this place, they are cool. They are doing great, by the way.
Absolutely.
Right? But are they my competitors? No, they're not. We think totally different. We are a long-term car rental company, not short-term. And because the name is Final Rentals, when I see the evolution here, you might even find scooties in my platform. Not now, maybe in 2 years down the line. Electric cars, we're already thinking about that. That you can rent Teslas using my platforms, or Nissan Leaf, all the EV vehicles. So
Absolutely.
So, who do you think are your competitors?
in UAE, I would say Easy Hire. You might have heard about them, Easy Hire, and then we have another thing called Envigo, right? But their model is the subscription-based model. So it's a commitment. So that you make a commitment that you rent a car on monthly basis, and here's your commitment. Whereas in Final Rentals, there's no commitment. It's freedom. You can rent a car on monthly basis. You can return it if you want after 2 days, and you are charged on the pro rata basis. So yeah, but you can say they are my competitors, because as a user, you will see, oh, another car rental company. You don't know the nitty-gritties, so that's how it is. But I have one edge on all these companies that, right? They don't have over me. I'm not only in the UAE. I'm global. You can rent a car anywhere in the world using final rentals, but they are only UAE based.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's also another thing. Yeah.
So how did you get about marketing final rentals? Because you said you started 3 years ago and
Yeah.
you are already profitable. So that's amazing. So I was really intrigued by it. Like,
Yeah.
what were your marketing agendas?
Right. So see, the thing is, when you look at startups today, right? Startups today, there are two startups. One is that bootstrapped. Okay, that will be me, right? And then the other one is that raising money.
Yeah.
So let's say Invigo or Easy Hire, they have raised a lot of money, right? So when you open Google or when you open anything, you see their ad.
Yeah.
You will not see my ad there, right? And I'm sure you haven't seen my ad anywhere, right?
No.
Exactly. If I run the ad, I can never be profitable. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
Companies like Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
Noon.com, Amazon, all these companies, they're not profitable. They're not profitable companies. Yeah, they are world famous because thanks to the money that they have, they do a lot of marketing. You know them,
Yeah.
but they're not profitable at all, right? And to reach, I don't even know when they will be profitable. Okay. Whereas in my case, right, I'm already profitable, right?
Yeah.
On December 31, 2019, we post profit.
Okay.
Cutting all that, we post profit, right? And we have digital assets, own 100% in the company. So how I approach this? That's what you want to know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my approach is very simple. If you search rent a car in DSO, Google, you'll find me. Possibly page 1, rank number 1,
Okay.
or rank number 2. If you search rent a car in Dera City Center, you'll find me. Page 1, rank number 1. If you search rent a car in Media City Center, you'll find me page 1, rank number 1.
Okay.
If you search monthly car rental, you'll find me on page 1. Monthly car rental Dubai, you'll find me on page 1. So we have built a technology called SEO Dip,
Okay.
which is actually designed by me and then programmed by my developers.
Okay.
That we have more than 20,000 long tail keywords
Okay.
that we are ranked on number 1. Okay, so every single day we get around 40% bookings that come from those keywords.
Okay.
So that is a part of my business that is
Yeah.
I get without spending a dime, right? Whereas companies, startups who do aggressive marketing, they have something called cost per customer, right? Cost per acquisition, right? So imagine if I'm spending 60 dirhams to get one customer, and I'm earning 60 dirhams on that,
Yeah.
right? I'm sorry, but I don't believe in such thing. That just doesn't make sense to me,
Yeah.
right? 60 is the dirham I'm spending to get one customer that is also paying me 60 dirhams. Okay, my ad will be running, everybody will see my ad, but then
Yeah.
what's the point here? I'm not making anything. So I have shown a lot of patience in that way. Yeah, I see ads every day of my competitors. It can be overwhelming at times, like
Yeah.
what's happening. But then you're like, don't worry, today I will learn more than you. So that is fine. So it has taken me some time to understand this game, right? And I haven't been in this trap of aggressive marketing.
Yeah.
I do my thing very, very calmly, right? And you'll be shocked to know that we are featured by Khalij Times, Gulf News, international media, Focus Wire, right? And even on Booking.com and so many platforms.
Yeah.
So I also believe in more like PR, right? I go to many events to speak. So when you're speaking about your company, like
Yeah.
it's almost like you're doing the marketing for a company.
Yeah.
Like, people know about you, right? So when you buy iPhone, you actually do not buy iPhone. You actually buy Steve Jobs
Yeah.
because he told you this is the most awesome thing on earth. It's like personal branding. So I built this personal branding also, right?
Yeah.
Then of course it helps final rentals. That one way of it. Second thing is, like I told you, we focus on long-term strategies, right? And then all our pages that we have on our website, they are based on SEO. So on SEO, we are achieving rankings. So it's funny that Invigo is spending 30 dirhams per click on a keyword
Yeah.
on which I am actually ranked page 1. So they can spend, it's fine. I don't mind, but I'm getting the traffic also, so it's fine. So that's how it is. So it's a game of patience.
Yeah.
But today, what happens when startups they're starting, they want to raise money. Okay, my platform is live now. I want to raise money right now,
Yeah.
without thinking about the growth hacks. Right, that's how it is. So that's my strategy for marketing. We do a lot of blogging,
Okay.
content marketing,
Yeah.
all those things.
Yeah.
But don't really believe in paid marketing. So
Okay.
there's no paid. Yeah, in the beginning we did in the beginning, but
Okay.
not anymore.
Okay. So how was your response with the paid marketing in the beginning?
So one thing you guys understand that when I was in the UAE from 2007 till 2016, 17,
Yeah.
I was working as a consultant
Okay.
for all these companies like Budget, Dollar, UDrive. So I earned a lot of money with those consulting gigs, right? So,
Okay.
so when I started finance, I had a lot of money in my pocket already,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when I started, I actually did a few stupid things. Now listen to this. It's very interesting.
Okay.
So I got a billboard on Chegad Road,
Mm-hmm.
prime location. I got a billboard for final rentals.
Yeah.
Okay, for 2-3 months.
Okay.
Okay, I bought TV ads from NBC Bollywood and Zia Flam and all these places. Arabic, sort of where we cater to Arabic culture as well, and then multi language marketing and so on. So I actually, when I started final rentals, in 1 year down the line, I was minus $500,000 dirhams. Minus $500,000.
Okay.
And then I realized, hang on. So how much we spent? Sir, we spent 585K. 585K, okay. And how much we got in return? Okay. Let's not talk about it. It was less. Let's just say.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So then, what is this startup crap about, man? This, putting ads and all that. What the hell,
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? So then I realized, honestly speaking, this, when you see these ads of, let's say, Kareem, Uber and all
Yeah.
on the road, and see, it's all a game. They have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
500 million, they have raised, and they can spend money. So in my case, I was spending from my own pocket. So my game was limited to what I had, right?
Yeah.
From that day, I realized, man, you know what? I'm gonna find new ways. I want to build this business only. I want to continue with final rentals only, but I will find new ways, right?
Yeah.
We had around 20 people that time in final rentals. We had office in Business Bay.
Okay.
Okay, I cut everything down. I said I'm gonna be lean in my approach,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I started again from a flexi desk in DTech.
Okay.
Now we have office there, right? We have 5 people.
Okay.
I started everything again. So I unlearned whatever was in my head, right? And then started again with automation. Automation means when a booking is coming, you don't have to make a single call. It should be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Until unless there is no car, that's a different story. But it should be fulfilled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that automation we have built. We built a lot of automation also on the crawlers, on page creation, link building, so many things, right?
Okay.
So within 3 months, then it started happening again. We started getting bookings again,
Yeah.
right? And in 2018, we won the award for the best online business of the year
Oh.
by Gulf Capital Lead Awards. So we beat companies like Yella Compare.
Okay.
A lot of money they have.
Yeah.
Inside or Beehive, they were in the same category as
Yeah.
final rentals. So yeah, so it's growing. So organic growth is the best. Until unless you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
you say, okay, I want to experiment that, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, all these startups, when they have this money, right, I can tell you 70% of that money is going down the drain.
Yeah.
How many of you see the ads of Kareem and all, right? Uber, right? And how many of you use every day? A few hours, right? All the ads you see on Google and are we using? We just see, okay, yeah, this brand I know, okay, perfect, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go and buy. Because if someone wants to buy, he will just buy, man. If you want to rent a car right now, you just go to Google, rent a Toyota Corolla, you'll find if the website is trustworthy, you'll buy it from them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the funny part is the e-commerce customer is not a customer who is calling. The customer who is calling you is not going to buy from you. If you're an e-commerce company, people who actually call on our call center, they don't rent a car. It's a fantastic behavior. They're just rate shopping. So this car, how much you have? Oh, Toyota, oh, 1260. Oh, no, okay, fine, thank you. People who actually rent a car, they rent a car. They don't even call or email us, man.
Yeah.
They're just going online and they're renting the car. They don't call. People who are calling, they will not buy from you. Simple as that. So call center is a formality, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, so organic marketing.
That's interesting. So it's like Abdul Majid has a startup and I have a startup, and we were just students like last year itself. So bootstrapping for us is really tough.
Right.
Yeah, right. Because we don't really have our savings or anything. So what do you recommend for us? Because we are already looking for people who could spend money for
Right.
us or something.
See, the thing is, today, okay, when I started in my era, it was a bit of old era, right? So we didn't have access to funds.
Yeah.
Today you have access to non-equity funds.
Mm-hmm.
So there are so many accelerators. They give you money,
Yeah.
right? They don't take any equity.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check online. There's so many in European region and stuff, right? Even in the UAE, there's so many like Hub 71, right? And you can apply and you get money for free.
Okay.
They'll give you 100K, 50K to start, and then see what happens. So you have many. So VC. What I'm saying is VC is not the only option, because they will take equity from you, or they will take something from your company.
Yeah.
Then you will realize, oh, it became a job again. It will become a job again. Yeah, you are the CEO, I know, but hello, it will be a job. You have to give reports. You just cannot run in that freedom anymore. That's how it is. Talking about Alibaba, you said talked about Alibaba. So I'm signed up with Alibaba since almost 15 years now when they started, right?
Okay.
When they went live on New York Stock Exchange, right? Before that, I never received a single promotional email from Alibaba. There was no email newsletter coming from them. The moment they went live on New York Stock Exchange, they became greedy and hungry. The next day, because they have shareholders, so they have to answer. They have the KPIs, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Every single day, I started getting those promotional emails. We have these items. I'm like, okay, so this happens when you have investors that are asking you, be aggressive. We want numbers. That's how it is. So the thing is, you have to balance it out as an entrepreneur, right? As an entrepreneur, you have to balance it out. So with final rentals, because I don't have any investor, I own it 100%, and I have my team.
Okay.
There are so many things I am able to do. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm as big as Kareem or whatever. I'm quite small in that case, right? But we are profitable, we are self-sustainable, and there's so many things that I'm able to do at 1 hour notice. So I have an idea that, ma'am, this car is the hot selling car. So let's write a blog about this car. It will get us more traffic. I can do it in 1 hour today, half an hour, right? I have my team, this is the strategy, let's do this. Okay, but when you have investors on board and when all those things on board, you have to it will be a process then. What do you want to do? You want to do this. Okay, it will go to the content writer, it will come back, approve, and then upload.
Yeah.
I'm just simplifying it. It can be even more difficult, taking different decisions, right? So because when you have a VC, life changes. Then you're not an entrepreneur. You're more like a person who is glorified as a CEO. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's doing things that possibly he would do otherwise in some other way, but he's doing because now he's now tied up with some KPIs or with some terms, let's say, right? So that's how it is. So basically you have to stretch it. See, in startup world we say stretch your runway as much as you can. So just try to do it yourself. Just try to, right?
Okay.
And when you say no, man, it's not happening, then find new ways. But today you guys have amazing opportunities, with these accelerators. You can join those programs. You have incubators and you have accelerators.
Yeah.
They give you money, equity free, and they help you build product, they help you market it, and they give you also the limelight that you need. So explore that option.
So you were mentioning about other growth hacks. So any other growth hacks other than these, which you mentioned, which you use when you were like launching your product, or for example, from me, the app takes like time for developing. So it's like 2-month period for the app to get developed. So in that 2-month period, for example, what should I do? Like I'm doing my marketing, I'm meeting people, I'm meeting brands and everything. But then other than that, any other tips or growth hacks which I can use?
While your app is being developed, you already have a website?
Yeah, I have a website.
So basically you already have a product.
Yeah.
Okay, app is just another avenue, right? So you already have a product, right? See, the biggest growth hack that I've learned while in the last 2-3 years, right, when I started being lean, is to ask people to write about you. So basically the thing is, there are media companies and they need stories, right?
Yeah.
So literally I'm telling you, if you check online, you'll see that we have been featured in almost every local media body or even international, but it doesn't happen overnight. I actually write 500 people.
Okay.
Please, I'm Final Rentals. Please, write about this is my story, and I keep on changing my narrative. Because the media runs in a reverse manner. If you tell them I'm the best, they'll say, okay, we get this every day. If you tell them I was worst, now I'm the best. Oh, what do you do? Now they want to write about you. So you have to build your story. You have to get people, writing about you. Any blog, any magazine and stuff. It really works. People read it actually. Trust me, we don't realize it, but people read it and they will know about it. So basically in DTech they are opening a new section of DTech. It's DTech 3.0. It's in the Silicon Park, right? So they organize a meetup with 10 entrepreneurs that they will take them to tour the whole new facility, right? So we were 10. So all other 9 entrepreneurs, they knew everything about me.
Okay.
Who I am, what I do. I honestly didn't know about that. Not my fault. And they're actually older than me. They're in DTech since 5 years. I'm just here there since 2 years now.
Yeah.
So when you write, people will read, right? And the biggest marketer of your startup is you. You are the biggest marketer. So hold the mic and get on the stage, man. Tell people what you do. This is what I'm doing. That's how it is. So I think that really helps. Other growth hack that I want to tell you is, when it comes to SEO, for example, right? I realize that a lot of videos can help. So if you have a lot of YouTube videos talking about your product, for example, and keyword is right, and you're embedding that in your pages, it can really help because people watch a lot of videos, right?
Yeah.
So that really helps. So these are small growth hacks, and just try to give back also. So when you see something works, you can share it with other people, other entrepreneurs, other aspiring entrepreneurs. So the more you talk about your startup, you'll see that the word will flow. And the best part is that Dubai is a very small community, right? So if you're doing something right, people will know about it, right? It's not that it will take time. So that's how it is. So these are the things. And see, entrepreneurship is a people art, right? It's an art that is with the people. So you have to make people believe in what you are doing is absolutely stupid, but it's gonna work. And if I rewind your life 12 years back, there are so many ideas, they don't make sense. So just imagine a world without Facebook, okay? I come to you and you're an investor and I tell you, hey, I'm making one startup where people will fill their profile, they'll upload their picture, they'll also tell me if they're single or not, they'll also tell me who are their friends. You tell me, that's the door get lost. Today that is called Facebook. Okay, so Facebook is live. So now I come back to you and say, okay, I want to start something where people will take pictures. They're gonna apply some colors and filters on that. They'll upload, and you tell me it's not gonna work. Facebook is already there, right? That is called Instagram today. Another $1 billion thing, right?
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship and startups and ideas, they don't make sense. They have to make sense in your head only. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, if they make sense in your head, that's it. That is all. Otherwise, it would never happen. See, these companies, for example, Toyota, Nissan, they're making cars since 100, 120 odd years. Then a new company comes, Tesla, and says, I'm going to build cars on my own way, my own rules. Today, they sell more cars than Toyota. Man, that's crazy, right? So, see, these things don't really make sense. So when you said, when you were talking about market size and the market fit and all, so in the world of entrepreneurship, that doesn't matter. Trust me, man. Because people don't know what they want. Trust me. People don't know. And that's the job of the entrepreneur, to have that insight. Right? And it will never make sense, I'm telling you. So I'll give you a very small example here. If I think like a mathematician, final rental should not exist. Because if you go on Google and you search rent a car Dubai, you will see 30 companies, okay, having the toughest competition on Google Ads. Okay, they are bullish, aggressive, and they are giving a car for 30 dirham per day. I can never give that. My minimum is 49, right? And they're giving a car for 999 per month. My minimum is 1260. So if I think like a mathematician, my company will never. It doesn't work, right? I was in a meeting with one investor after I pitched my company. He said, "No, but it's not a product fit. It's not gonna work." Okay. Not gonna work yet for you, maybe, but it works for me. So as an entrepreneur, it's your let's say internal magic that you say, you know what, my startup works. It's gonna work, and you have to make it work. And to be honest, when you say it's gonna work, when in your mind it works, it can work. You have to build the team, like right people, and then they buy into your idea, right? That's how it is. So it's a people game. So you bring the people and then you tell them that, let's do something. Because you cannot do it alone, that's how it is. And also don't just think about perfection. Because in these videos they show us Steve Jobs was trying to make it perfect inside out. See, the thing is, that was 1970s, 80s, 90s, right? Today we are living in a world where we just don't have time, right? And shipping beats perfection any day, right? So perfection is a journey. Why do you think WhatsApp, Instagram, Microsoft, all these companies, they release patches, app updates every week? Companies with the capital in the world, they have the best human resources in the world, best engineers, they are releasing new update every 2-3 weeks. Why? Because for them that is perfection. You see a hole, you plug it, right? So it will never end, right? There's one video also on my LinkedIn, you just check it out. It's called Perfection is a Journey. It's one of my talk in Oman e-commerce conference. Just have a look at it. So don't run after perfection. There's so many entrepreneurs I personally meet, like, and they're like, man, I'm gonna make it perfect. And I'm like, okay, so you're not gonna launch it. It will never release. Simple as that. So don't think about perfection. The moment it reaches minimum viability, it works end to end, things are working perfectly fine, it is looking good, release it. Then think about everything else, like you want to build an AI, like you said, automation, all those things, they can happen, right?
Yeah.
They can happen while it is live. You can do a lot of things while it is live. And when you as a startup, when you go live, right? When you're building, it is your idea. When you're building it, it's your idea. But when you're live, it is customer's idea. Customers will call you, oh, but I cannot pick, where can I see the button for delivery? Oh, okay, so it's positioned in a very hard way. Let's make it easy. By the way, mobile number, the formatting is unclear for me. Yeah, okay, fine. So many things. So customers will come back and they will give you some ideas. So you can actually take that knowledge and perfect your product. In last 3 years, we have changed our homepage 10 times, final rentals, right? And we have changed our customer journey from A to Z, I would say around 6 times, for better. We try to refine it. Before homepage was so long, we try to make it more optimized, right? So it doesn't look like it's overwhelming, right? So all the things, that they take time, right? That's how it is. So yeah, so as an entrepreneur, just don't run after perfection, and just see how you can go live in the most minimum viability possible, spending as less money as possible. You're making an app, and you said it will take 2 months. So is it a native app?
Like native in the sense like.
Are you building a separate app for iOS and
separate? Yeah.
See, the thing is, as an entrepreneur, you have to find the cheapest solution possible. And cheapest doesn't mean that it's low quality. No. Today we have amazing frameworks where we can build one app. It will run both on iOS and also Android. So you can use Flutter, Ionic 4, Angular, write it once and run anywhere. So why you have to make an app for iOS separately and Android separately? Just make one app, hybrid app, and release it. It's allowed, and it will not take 2 months. It will take even 3 weeks. So find these ways. Don't have to make it harder for yourself. It will cost less also. Okay.
So do you have an app, or just do you currently have?
We have an app.
You have an app?
Yes. So we have 5 variations of fundamentals. One is .com, that is for the UAE.
Okay.
We also have an app. Then we have fundamentals global.
Okay.
App is also there, and then we also have .eu domain.
Okay.
That is for the European market.
So if you don't mind me asking, like, can I ask you about your business model? Like, how does it work? Like, do you run on a commission base, or how do you get paid?
So listing on Finder is free. So any supplier can be on my platform if they qualify,
Yeah.
right? And we charge on every transaction.
Okay.
We have our commission inbuilt in the price
Okay.
on every transaction, right?
Mhm.
And if it's a monthly booking, we also earn on recurring months.
Okay. Perfect. So does the MBA batch has any questions?
Any questions first? Feel free, guys. Anything that is on your
So,
mind.
as I told, compared to the other companies, your company is charging more,
Mm.
like
Priced more.
priced
Mm.
more. So, how do you attract the customers to take up your company, like unlike others?
Okay. So when you look at our competitors, they're running these ads that rent a car for $999 per month.
Mm-hmm.
and then somewhere below, very small font, it says, if you rent for 12 months. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In our case, how I have built this brand, Final, is that it's final.
Mm-hmm.
So the messaging is also final. So if you see that I'm selling it for $12.60 per month, it's $12.60 per month. No strings attached, nothing. So our customers understand that okay, here the thing is final. There's no hidden charges, nothing. So while you're booking the car, we tell you every single thing. Everything. Plus VAT, or without VAT, or including VAT. If you have to pay how much for insurance, how much for this, every single thing. Whereas my competitors, they're using a technique called hook, customer hooking. So they show 900 per month, so customer will click.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the end, when customer will call you, they'll go, oh, it's only for 6 months. Ah, okay, fine. You guys are. So in our case, like I told you, we encourage no human intervention. So that also means no confusion, right? So our messaging is 100% clear. Because if they are booking that car from my competitor also for a month, it will actually become the same price as mine, or maybe a little more. In my case, it's 100% clear. So I think that clear messaging really helped us. It really helped us, and our customers are, you can say, it's very interesting, but it's 70% repeat customers. So once they book from us, they keep on booking from us because it's clear 100%.
So do you in the future plan on getting investments from VCs and whatnot?
See, the thing is, I am almost having 2 to 3 meetings like every week with the VCs, right?
Okay.
But the thing is, there are certain, I have built a company where the company is now profitable.
Mm-hmm.
In 3 years, I have built this business that is self-sustained, right? So I cannot be considered as a, let's say, a startup, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is asking for money,
Mm-hmm.
right? The thing is, most of the VCs, they look at you also as a startup. So for them, anybody who's sitting in the room to present, he's a startup.
Okay.
But I met a few VCs who understand what's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somehow the terms don't really match. So I'm very clear about how I want and what exactly I'm looking for,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when that thing happens.
Yeah. So what is your take on social media marketing, but as an organic? You're having your own Instagram page or Facebook page and marketing through that.
Yeah. The thing is, I just want to tell you one thing. When you create your social media pages for your company, it is good to have no presence. It's good to have no presence than having a bad presence.
Okay.
So don't make a page just for the sake of making a page because you want to put an icon there, Facebook link, Instagram link. That is number one. Number two, whenever you post something on Facebook, Instagram, even when you're posting as a person in your personal space, I just want you to ask one thing to yourself. What do I get from this? What's your objective here? So you go to Starbucks and you're having a coffee and you take a picture of a coffee and you upload it. Having coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
What's the objective behind it? Is it random? Like
Self-satisfaction.
self-satisfaction? Okay, fine, that's one. Or it's just a random post. But as a company, you cannot have a random post.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're posting, you should have some objective behind it. My target market, target hashtags, right? And that really works.
Yeah. Okay.
And now Google is also crawling it. So when you are having a lot of posts, let's say rent a car, hashtag rent a car, when you search on Google Images,
Yeah.
your post will come up.
Okay. So what platform do you consider the best for bringing traffic to your website or your application?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Because the problem with Instagram still is that you cannot have a link within your post
Okay.
embedded.
Yeah.
Facebook has.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what was your biggest challenge and how
Sorry?
did you convince your biggest challenge and how did you convince the other renting companies to collaborate with you?
Okay, so for me, I would say I was a bit blessed because before launching fundamentals, I worked with these companies for 10 years. So everybody knew me before, right? Sorry. I have this thing with the light. When light is, so my eyes are actually very, very weak. So thanks to the screen hours. So honestly, that was not a challenge for me. They already knew about me that this guy made our website. So if he's making something, it's gonna be cool. So it wasn't. So what was the biggest challenge? The biggest challenge was to convince people that even if I'm not running ads, don't worry, I'm gonna give you bookings. That was telling me. They were like, you're not doing any marketing. How are you gonna get bookings? But today it's a different thing. So today they ask me, how do you do that? So how do you get bookings without even spending money? So I'm like, okay, I'll tell you later.
So
But-
how do you see the rental market in UAE in like 2 or 3 years down the
In UAE, rental market is like nowhere in the world. UAE is the most interesting place for car rentals. Because here people come as an expert and they have short-term and long-term objective, and then we have tourists. Right? So it's like neck to neck. People who rent a car from the airport, it's 50% people who rent a car from the city.
Yeah.
UAE is the most dynamic market for car rentals. Like literally, if you're doing it right, you can actually have a sale of $1 million dirham a day.
Okay.
It's a huge market. It will be worth $1 billion by 2020.
By 2020.
2022, sorry.
Okay.
22.
22.
Right now it's around $680 million. Huge market. And there are thousands of car rental companies here. If I also include the shop-based companies who have 2 cars, 5 cars,
Yeah.
there are thousands. And it's huge, my friend. It's a big market.
So the companies that you have currently on your platform, do they also are allowed to rent cars on their own, or is it just?
Yeah. They can do whatever they want.
Okay.
They can do whatever they want.
Mhm.
They just have to give us the best price.
Okay. So do they have like the same prices that they have on their
No.
store as well?
No,
Okay.
because our price is a web price.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
Absolutely. Okay. So since we are already entering into IR4 and with Expo 2020 coming, many people have different views on it. That is going to do this to the buyer, do that to the buyer. So what is your view on it?
Well, I have seen Expo, the last Expo that happened in Milano, Expo Milano.
Okay.
I was there when it was happening,
Yeah.
and I've seen before and after also. See, Expo is a great event when it invites a lot of people to your country. So when Expo will be happening, you will see it will be crazy. A lot of people will be here. They'll be staying here for 6 months,
Yeah.
6+ months. So that period is amazing. But it's very difficult to judge what will happen after. It's not easy.
Okay.
But one thing I can tell you that while we are gearing up for Expo, this period is great for starters, for any business.
Yeah.
It's a very good period, right? But what happens after the Expo, it's difficult to judge. It's very difficult because it's a 6 months
Yeah.
long, let's say, big exhibition, and people come from different places in the world. So while Expo is happening, it's a great opportunity for any startup to start, to make the noise, to be heard, right?
Absolutely.
Be aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So that's how it is. But after the Expo, what happens is totally depends on, let's say, what that country is giving back. So I'll give you a small example here.
Yeah.
We were having a big debate in a room with a lot of thought leaders a couple of months ago, and the topic was why UAE is not having great quality of programmers like Silicon Valley has, right? Why we don't have amazing engineers, right? So there was one lady from US, and she said, "Why do they come here? You guys don't give them anything."
Yeah.
So, what do you mean? She said, when a programmer comes to San Francisco, he has a minimum wage of $5,000. That's a minimum wage, right? If he's paying taxes there, he can apply for residency, right? And then he can stay there forever, right?
Yeah.
As a programmer, can I do it in UAE? No. But that policy is still in the making, I would say, right? So it totally depends on the policy, what you give back to the people, right? And what is your post-Expo, let's say, policy, right? So the people who come here, I'm sure when someone comes to Dubai, they're like, wow, man, Dubai is amazing, right?
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, isn't it? So what it is giving me if I stay here, what happens, what will I earn, what kind of life will I have, what are the dynamics of living here, right? That also is something that's very, very important, right? Are you from UAE? Are you Emirati?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
So what other industries do you find attractive in the UAE apart from the rental business, and you think like you really want to get into it and maybe in the future or explore it?
The biggest industry that I've seen here is like, I would say apart from the car rentals, right? I would say hotels.
Yeah.
Hotels is really amazing.
Yeah.
other industry that I see that might have a chance, because I think the weather is now changing. They're doing something, right? So weather is changing here.
Yeah.
I would say the e-mobility sector, the e-mobility.
Okay.
So having those scooties,
Yeah.
those mobikes, sharing, right?
Yeah.
Area-wise,
Mhm.
I think that can be a really disruptive idea here, right? The fourth sector that I see that UAE has a lot of potential and it can grow for here is education sector.
Yeah, absolutely.
Education, for example, if we have entrepreneurship or education, e-education,
Mhm.
right? That is bolt on to what you are studying,
Yeah.
then something else. I think that has a huge potential because whenever I go to any entrepreneurial talk or I see the house is full.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people there, so I think that is something really amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So,
Do you have any vision for expanding your business in another country? Or?
Yeah, we have a very clear vision, right? So you'll see that we'll be live in Oman in the next 2 months, and then other countries like Saudi Arabia. Saudi is very big, so I cannot go straight over there. I want to practice my cross-country skills first, right? So we have Oman, we have Kuwait, and then other places. Then we go to Saudi. So I want to see myself live in whole GCC, right, in the next 2 years, and then live in the whole Europe, right? That's the plan, right? And if that works out well, we'll try to explore the US.
So you have already studied the market in Europe.
Yeah, I've been to Europe quite a few times. My family is living in Milano. I've done my MBA from there, by the way, from MIP Milano,
okay.
and you'll be shocked to know that I've done my MBA just now, 2 years ago. So I took a break from
Yeah.
the entrepreneurship thing, and I went to do the MBA, and then I came. It was fun.
So,
It was good to be a student and sit and listen to people. Okay.
so you really would have got to share your experiences there as well.
It was amazing. And the funny part is that in the whole class, it was a class of 38 people. I was the only entrepreneur there. Others were working for big, rich companies.
Okay.
Where do you work? I'm the head of this from Amazon. Oh, okay. What about you? eBay. Oh, okay. Someone from Discovery Channel, someone from, I don't know, okay. All these big companies. And then I'm the only entrepreneur, the poor guy there. So the professor will be like, okay, first thing first, let's ask Ammar. We want a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I always had a different perspective. It was fun.
It's amazing. So,
What lessons have you learned till now?
In the MBA?
No, in the entrepreneur process,
Okay. So see, the thing is, because I have almost 17 years of career as an entrepreneur, I don't have a CV.
mhm.
It's been 17 years I'm an entrepreneur. I'm earning for myself and creating jobs. So what I learned is, as we grow up in the entrepreneurial journey, we have phases. So when I was younger, when I was like in my 20s, I was very aggressive. Like I want it right now. No, let's do this right now, okay? Then you change the mood, and then you're like, no, man, let's just take some time. Let's just see what's happening. Let's listen to other person also, right? And then you reach a stage where you're like, okay, now I'm this guy who knows everything, right, within my business. And don't worry, I will solve it. Like if you cannot, we will find a way, right? So what I learned about, one thing I'll just tell you about entrepreneurship is, today when we ask somebody what you do, they say, oh, I'm building an app. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, you're an entrepreneur, great. So what are you doing? I'm building an app or a website. I was in a room in Copenhagen School of Entrepreneurship, so we were studying lean startup methodology with my MBA group, right? So the professor asked, if I give €1 million to everybody, what will you do? So someone said, I will build an Uber, I will build Kareem, I will build online shop for sweaters, online shop for socks, whatever. So he said, okay, so nobody will build a factory for handkerchiefs. Nobody will make matchboxes. Nobody will make tissue papers, right? So he said, if everybody will make a platform, who will make the real thing?
Yeah.
The thing is, when you search on Google, shawarma shop near me, someone is actually making a shawarma there, so that you can go and buy. Google is not doing anything for you.
Yeah.
When you order on Deliveroo a burger, someone is actually making a burger in the kitchen. He has the bread, he has the things, and he is sending it to you. So technology is nothing. So we first thing first, detach technology with entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is something that you do. It's inside you. Someone who's having the Philly chai, the Philly tea is also that guy is an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Possibly bigger than many,
Yeah.
right? Selling chai, the tea, right? Entrepreneurship is not an app, not a website. It's a people game. You have to be good with people. You think about the people, right? So like Abraham Lincoln used to say, "Of the people, by the people, and for the people." So it's about the people. So what I learned is entrepreneurship is about thinking about the people. So thinking about the people how? So for example, what happens in final rentals when someone is renting a car and they are not able to pick the car, there's a no show. Okay, technically when there's a no show, I can actually charge them full. Okay, but we try to refund it. If there's a genuine reason, couldn't come because my flight was okay, fine. So the money is refunded. So you don't feel ripped off. I think that is also entrepreneurship. Maybe right. It's thinking about the people. And empowering them. So it's also not just about the customers. No. So when I say people means customers, right? My suppliers, the companies who I work with, who actually own the car. I have nothing, right? And the third is actually the work culture. People who work in my company, right? In GLT, I had a meeting a few months ago. So I entered the door and I saw. So I have this habit of getting the vibe of the place, right? So I could see 30 people working there, and I can tell you that they were stressed. They were like this, okay? I'm like, okay, what's happening here, man? Then I saw the notice on the door, and the notice read, lunch plus prayer break, 30 minutes. Okay? So if you're a Muslim, you'll know that is somewhat difficult, not possible. That I can pray my afternoon prayer full, then have lunch also, and then come back to desk. Come on, at least 45 minutes required, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm never gonna build such a company, and we are not gonna do any business with them. So I went inside. I met the boss also. Then I was sure. I was okay. So that's how it is. Perfect. Thank you very much. We're not going to work with them. In final rentals, there's no attendance. There's no concept of working hours, right? There's no concept of pay cut. Okay? You can only earn more. You cannot earn less. Okay? If you don't come. It's okay. That's fine. No pay cut, but just tell what happened. Come anytime, go anytime. No problem. Hit your KPI. It's up to you. Take a lunch break for 5 hours. Take a lunch break for 5 hours. Don't have to tell me also. So hey, I'm going. Do whatever you want. So that's our work culture. So that is also entrepreneurship. So it's like that only. So what I learned is being an entrepreneur is thinking about the people, and people just thinking about people, not just the customers. People are people. All the people who work with you, who build the solution, right? So that's what I learned. And what's your name?
Minute.
So Manil, what happened is, since I started thinking about this people's perspective, right? It's funny, I actually earned more money than before. When I was thinking about business, honestly speaking, it was hard to make ends meet. The moment I started thinking about people, my brain was at peace. Okay, it's a people game, man, so let's talk about people. I actually earned more money than before. And the game became better, the whole game, company, the people and all, it became better. So entrepreneurship is about people. That's all. Not an app, not a piece of software. That is what you sell, right? That is not what you are. That's all it is.
So automation is basically, a lot of people speculate that it's going to take over the jobs in the next 5 to 10 years. And when you talk about your business, we already can understand that you only have 5 people working and you handle a lot of transactions in a year. So what do you think about that? Because a lot of people say that it's not ethical to just take away their jobs.
Right.
Yes. What's your take on that?
See, automation will never take away the jobs, right? We have 5 people and we are doing this much because let's just say if we are a factory, where we make 40 chairs in an hour, right? And we are 20 people. And if I fire 15 people, now we are 5 people. If we still make 40 chairs in an hour, that is not market recession, that is market correction. It was my fault, my process was not optimized. It's not the market's fault, right? So before when I had 20 people, I realized that it was all beefed up. Because I had money in my pocket, I was not thinking on the optimization level. So one task that could have been done by half a person, it was 5 people were doing that. That too maybe not so effectively, right? Talking about the automation. So imagine a factory where they make these mugs, right? And there are 1,000 people working there. It's one factory, right?
Okay.
Then they bring automation. Now they make 10,000 mugs, right? So that means they are more profitable. They're selling, right?
Yeah.
They can open another factory, then another,
Yeah.
create more jobs.
Absolutely.
Look at it as a combined value. Don't look at one process and say, oh, taking the jobs out.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it will create more jobs.
So anyone else?
So who do you consider as your role model?
There are few people actually, it's difficult to choose one, right? I really think that when it comes to quality control, vision on quality, I think Steve Jobs is someone that is really amazing. You know, he really gives this perspective that we should build things that are great, not just to see but to touch and to keep, right? Then when it comes to building an organization, I really like Alibaba, what he has done from zero. It was amazing. Then Google also, because I was telling them that I had a tour of Google 2 months ago, Google Singapore. They invited me to have a tour. It was amazing. There's a separate counter for fast food, separate for healthy food, separate for gluten-free. It was amazing. Apart from the food, how they have built a work culture, it was fascinating. Really. So yeah, there are quite a few. I cannot name one. It's difficult. Yeah.
So do you read books?
Yeah. Not a lot, but I do.
So what are some of the books that you would like to recommend to us?
Actually, don't really remember all the books, but there was one book that I read and it was really amazing. It's called The One Thing.
Okay.
It is talking about how you can focus on one thing and make it perfect. It's amazing. Just have a read on it.
Absolutely. Who's the author?
Honestly, don't remember. It's a yellow cover. Very, very nice book.
Okay.
So, any motivation thought which one you want to share with us?
See, the motivation is a very difficult topic, because sometimes you are motivated, with so many things. Sometimes even small spark, small moment is, motivating for you, right? Motivation is more. Let's talk about happiness, right? So the thing is, the real goal of this life is being happy, right? So the biggest hack of happiness that I have is when I'm sad, I'm just asking myself how awesome it is to be me. Sometimes we forget that. So much busy in these tasks. How amazing it is to be me, right? Being here, doing these things, it's amazing, right? So whenever you're down, just talk to yourself and ask how awesome it is to be you, and you'll be happy.
So as we are advancing towards the end of the session for Coffee with CEO 23, so we would like to just ask you what are some of the advices or important aspects that we have to look forward in life, not just as startups or students, but people in general. What would be your advice on that?
See, the thing is, there are two things here. Like when you are working with people, right? You're looking at opportunity, right? So there are a lot of people who see things as opportunity and they are opportunistic, right? That's a short-term goal, right? But if your long-term goal is that you build connections, long-lasting connections, right? So for example, there are so many shops, sweet shops, back home, where you see that they were built by the grandfather, and then the children move on, and it's a legacy.
Yeah.
Today we don't have such things, such businesses, where we can go and tell them, I used to buy sweets from your grandfather. He built this shop. So let's try and bring that culture back. Let's try and bring those connections again. So we have a legacy, like a heritage. So whatever you're building, think like that.
Absolutely.
That it is that village shop that people come after 100 years and say, oh, I knew it's a place that is 100 years old. It has some legacy, some character.
Yeah.
So when you build that thing in, I think that you can build great products. You can apply it to anything, to be honest. Sweet shop is just an example here, right? So just think like that, how you can build a character
Yeah.
within your product also. That's
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for coming, Mr. Ammar. It was great having you today.
pleasure,
and
pleasure. I had a great time. Thank you for all the questions. Very, very interesting questions. Was a
I
pleasure.
hope you all had an amazing time as well. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. No problem.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
No worries, no worries.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inspiring all